Welcome back to Living Local. With winter upon us and COVID-19 limiting many activities, you may find yourself spending more time indoors. For those that suffer with allergies, this may cause some issues. While allergies usually affect you outdoors, experts say there could be hidden allergens throughout the house that can trigger symptoms. Joining us via Zoom today is Dr. David Corey with Baylor College of Medicine. Dr. Corey, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, thank you.
So what is the primary culprit of indoor allergies?
So in the house, there's a couple of sources of allergens that are a big problem throughout most of the year, and that includes dust mites and molds, and there's some insects, including cockroaches and some other things that it can accumulate in our carpets. Around holiday time, there can be other issues that are unique to the holiday season. So certain trees are brought inside that are cold sensitive, but Christmas trees and other holiday related plant decorations, they're typical for this time of year, can be important sources of allergies for certain people.
Gotcha. So the primary culprit is the dust, and then those other types of triggers can be from mold, pets, furniture, houseplants, and you even mentioned holiday decorations. Now, what can we do, some household chores, to avoid these indoor allergens?
So in addition to keeping the house generally clean and as dust-free as you possibly can, and using certain techniques for removing that dust, including a HEPA filter attached to a vacuum cleaner, or and some people have a central vacuum cleaner that allows the dust to be removed into a central container that's outside of the house. So in addition to those kinds of things, there are, and being careful about avoiding the plants that, again, can be brought inside and causing allergies if you have that kind of susceptibility. So one particular thing to think about, though, is the holiday decorations that are often stored in dusty areas. So one recommendation would be to carefully remove those decorations from their packaging. It's the outside packaging that can accumulate that dust, which can be very highly allergenic and trigger allergic reactions. It helps to open those boxes outside of the main living area, or at least clean the boxes carefully before you start opening them. And that's a major reason for dispersion of that dust, which can be very problematic for some people.
Yeah, Dr. Corey, that makes so much sense, and it's something that a lot of folks might not even think about, because you have your Christmas decorations maybe in the garage or an attic or another area of the house for a year, and of course over that time you're not going to probably be going in there and cleaning those items. So yeah, and you take them out probably in the living room to set up the tree. Us here in the Midwest, it's cold outside, so we generally unwrap all of the stuff in the living room to set up, but you're right, take that maybe outside in the garage, get that dust off so that you're not spewing dust all over in the living area. Now, so those are some great ways that we can prevent the indoor allergies. Now, for persistent symptoms, what's the best way to treat allergies?
So for mild allergies, the best treatment is to use a standard over-the-counter antihistamine. There's a number of those that are available. You want to get a second-generation antihistamine that's not Benadryl, not knocking that drug. It's very effective, but it makes most people drowsy. So the next generation antihistamines, things like Zyrtec and Allegra, and those are just a couple of trade names, but there are others, are very good at for most people, you will be able to avoid that drowsy feeling, but they have the same efficacy in terms of controlling your symptoms of stuffy nose, itchy, watery eyes, that kind of thing. There's also a nasal steroid that's available now over the counter that can be very effective. I would start with the antihistamine first. If that's not quite cutting it, then you can go to the nasal sprays. So those are the main things that you can do medication-wise in terms of controlling your symptoms.
Now, Dr. Corey, if symptoms still do not go away after prevention and at-home treatment, some of those over-the-counter treatments that you mentioned, what kind of help can folks expect from an allergy specialist, and what's a sign that they should really talk to a specialist?
Sure. So if those over-the-counter things that we just talked about, if those aren't quite cutting it, I definitely recommend getting into an allergy clinic and talking it over with them. They have their own secret sauce, if you will, of different allergy combinations, including some prescription medications that can do the trick. But they can also test you to see specifically what you might be allergic to. So the advantage of knowing what you're allergic to means that you can then avoid, in many cases, exactly what's triggering your symptoms, and that may be really all most people really need. But if none of that is quite cutting it, then allergists can also offer advanced treatments, including what are called biologics, so injectables that can help control severe allergic diseases. But also offer immunotherapy, which is basically a form of vaccination. That's a slow form of vaccination, which you get repeated injections of extracts of the very things that are causing your allergies. Only allergists can really provide that form of therapy, and this can be highly, highly effective. So there's lots of things that an allergist can offer, and I strongly recommend that as an option, particularly if the over-the-counter medications aren't quite cutting it.
Right, and we know so many folks out there, I mean, allergies can just knock them down. So it's wonderful and relieving to know that there are many options for relief out there. Dr. Corey, thank you so much for your time and for your insights today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
If you'd like some more information, you can check out Baylor's College of Medicine on Facebook. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.